Millions around the world have been caught up in the latest major internet disruption after a Microsoft outage affected networks and services everywhere yesterday. Cue drama. The fallout was immediate. Air New Zealand's systems were hit, causing flight delays because we all check into our flights on our phones now. Some government pages went offline. In other countries, it was affecting medical services. It follows a handful of other similar outages recently. So joining me to discuss what's going on is technology journalist Bill Bennett. Good morning to you, Bill.
Good morning.
Why did this happen, and why does it sort of seem to be happening more often?
People tend to think that the cloud services is just one big computer somewhere else in the world, but actually it's not. It's thousands of computers and devices and so on, and they're all connected and they're all in different countries and they're all in different places all over the world. And it's like a huge Jenga puzzle of pieces, and someone pulls out a piece at the bottom and the whole thing collapses. And quite literally, someone the other side of the world would click their mouse and Air New Zealand's booking system would have gone offline.
Is it as simple as that? Just one
click,
one bit of code?
I'm going to tell you what it was called. They described what happened. I'm reading it here. Inadvertent configuration change. Now, that sounds pretty innocent, but it's the equivalent of supposing you're on your home computer and you get a message about you need to update the software, say for example, so that you can print things. You do the update and your computer doesn't come back online automatically. It stops working. Perhaps the printer stops working, perhaps things stop working. It's literally that happening on a global scale.
And is that when they have to call their tech department and they tell them to turn it off and turn it on again?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And what happens, of course, is that because the pieces, the various bits of the cloud are connected, and they're interconnected around the world, it'll happen in one place, it'll travel to another place, and pretty soon it's moving around the entire network of connected devices. What would happen at a company like Microsoft is someone would see this happening pretty quickly after it happened, perhaps minutes after it happened, perhaps even seconds after it initially happened, and they would start rapidly switching things off so it doesn't propagate any further. And the problem is once this happens, and it's exactly the same as with your home computer, you can do something very minor and it takes hours to get the printer to start working again or the network to start working again or whatever. And that's kind of what happened here, is that it took seconds for it to go off, and it's taken hours for them to get bits back together. And in fact, even now, some parts of it are still not working.
It shows how vulnerable we are, though, right? When we take everything online, when someone pulls out that Jenga piece, we're suddenly all sat twiddling our thumbs, wondering how to do things in an analogue manner anymore. Should we have some backup built into the system? Is there anything we can do to be more resilient?
Yeah, there is. I mean, the thing is it's worse than that, because Microsoft accounts for about 20% of all cloud services worldwide. AWS, Amazon, accounts for about a third, and Google accounts for a little bit. So between Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, that's 2/3 of the world's cloud computers in just 3 companies. And that's just so much is dependent, huge amounts everywhere is dependent on one little thing happening somewhere in the world. So yeah, we're so vulnerable, and the single point of failure takes the whole thing down.
What can we do about that, though?
The Europeans are starting to think about whether they should diversify away from the big cloud providers, and an organisation like Air New Zealand, for example, could possibly have another cloud provider so that it could switch over it if something like this happened in future. And that's what people are starting to think in terms of.
Yeah, which is no small question, right? So we probably won't have it ready for next time. Thank you very much for your time.
And no small expense.
Exactly. That is technology journalist Bill Bennett with us on Herald Now this morning.